What's up, guys? Eli here, back for another video. We're just going to do a collection video today of my CD collection. 10 CDs. Pick up where we left off last time, if anyone's still watching after that overload of Cradle of Filth. Awesome. I figured that would turn more than a few people off, but I'm showing my collection. I'm not going to take out stuff that I think certain people might not like. So I'm not trying to please anyone necessarily, just showing my shit, right? So, we're going to start with, shit. Get more organized. By the way, we're listening to Extinction by Lemming Project from Germany. Really good death metal band from the early to mid 90s. Pretty sure they're from Germany. They aren't active anymore, but they had 2 albums that are both just fucking fantastic. Some of the most underrated death metal to come out of the 90s. Once again, Lemming Project. I know that's a weird name. That might not have been a good name to choose. They might have had more success under a better name. But anyways, killer stuff, as you can hear. If you can hear that. I don't have it on very loud, but it's so good. Anyways, back to my CDs. We're going to start with the last album, not final, but the most recent album by Cretin, called Stranger. Yeah, it's supposed to look blurry like that. It's not my camera. Relapse Records. This came out in 2014. There's a lot of talk. It definitely got some attention. It very good reviews, and it deserves those good reviews. I mean, this album is fucking awesome. I already liked Cretin, so I was really looking forward to this. If you don't know Cretin, they are kind of a death grind band, playing a very like primitive, kind of late '80s death grind. You know, old Napalm Death, old I mean, whatever. I'm really not the biggest grind guy, but you know, 80s, definitely Repulsion Worship, actually, I would call their first album. However, this one it's just a little bit different. Every song, really cool concept, by the way. I don't know if you could call it a concept album, but every song, I don't know if these are lyrics, to be honest, because they're stories. Every song's a story. I don't know if those stories are the exact lyrics. Really cool. What's cool about it is I grew up reading a lot of like short stories, you know, like Stephen King and H.P. Lovecraft. Most writers in the what time period did you call that? The 50s, 40s, and yeah. Anyway, 40s, I'd say, somewhere around there. They or even before that, they wrote short stories. A lot of those writers, they didn't write novels. Some did, but a lot of them just wrote short stories. So that's what that reminded me of, and I thought that was really cool. And the album sounds a little bit different too. It's I don't know. It's I wouldn't call it a natural progression from the first album, but it's more of, hey, let's not just do Repulsion Worship. Let's put an album kind of with our own identity, and that's what they did. And it's absolutely killer. Recommend both albums, but especially this one. The other one I recommend just because if you like Repulsion, you should listen to it. Next up, we have the only Crowbar album I own, Oddfellows Rest. And to be honest, I haven't heard all Crowbar. I've heard a decent amount, and this is my favorite. Really dig this album, and I always have. It's just some killer songwriting. I feel like as far as songwriting goes, they definitely hit a high note on this one. I really should listen to them more, but usually when I want to hear Crowbar, I just grab this one. Planets Collide, the title track, great songs. Yeah, man, it's good stuff. You probably know Crowbar already, but if you don't, they're like a doom sludge band from New Orleans. A lot of familiar faces in this band, but all of these guys pretty much have been in any other projects. Now I don't have these in order, but I'll just. It might be in order. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We have The Crown with The Burning. This is a re-release, Century Media re-release from 2002, because this band, they were not actually going by The Crown at this time. They were going by Crown of Thorns. So this is not a Crown album. This is the Crown of Thorns album, which is, like I said, the pre-Crown, from like 95 or something like that. I like The Crown, man. That last album they put out a couple years back was, what the fuck? I don't know what happened. That thing was just such a turd. It was such a piece of shit. I don't know how many of you guys heard it. It was just laughably bad. It was terrible. I had no... yeah. I dig what they did before that, though. So yeah, look into that one. If you haven't heard The Crown, check out Crown of Thorns. Or I mean, if you dig The Crown, I mean, and you haven't heard Crown of Thorns, you should look into that. Either way, just look into it and maybe you like it. It's it's pretty typical of the time, you know, Swedish death thrash, melodic death thrash. But they did their own thing. They had their own sound. Yeah, that sound has been done a lot, but you know, they were one of the bands to do it before a lot of the others. Now we have Crown in Terror. This album actually has instead of their vocalist that they usually have, Johan or something, this one has Thomas Lindberg at the Crown. So yeah, cool album, definitely good. They would re-release this later and call it Crowned Unholy with you know, their original vocalist. I think his name is Johan. So yeah, I really like both versions. I mean, I really like Johan's vocals. I hope that's his name, because I keep fucking saying it. I really like his vocals, and I think they fit the Crown a lot better. For that reason, I go for this one. But yeah, Lindbergh works just as well. Then we have one of their more recent albums. Not super recent at this point, though. 2003. This is Possessed 13. Very cool horror movie looking album cover. It's got a bonus disc of stuff. What is that singer's name? Yeah. Johan Lindstrand. Fuck, good. I had it right. Anyways, it's got a bonus disc. I want to say it has some battery covers on there. Kill 'Em All. It's got a Metallica cover on there. I don't honestly remember that. I don't really want to... It's got a Celtic Frost cover on here. I could have sworn it had a battery cover in it, but I'm not going to... Anyways, another Crown album. Not my favorite. It is good, but I prefer some of their stuff a little more. Now we have a couple Cryptopsy albums. I do not have these in order at all, either. All my shit's mixed up. I've moved too many times in the last couple of years. This is one of their more recent albums. Not that recent, 2000. And Then You'll Beg, this one's called. I never really understood that album cover. Fuck, man. It's terrible. Some dude with dreadlocks and a Cryptopsy logo tattooed on his back. It's bad. The album is okay. It's got, atrocious art. But anyways. Oh man, and it just continues. It's just bad. Anyways, this album had, I think this is this is the second album to have Mike DeSalvo on vocals instead of Lord Worm. Mike DeSalvo sucks, man. I don't know. Sorry, Mike. I know you're not watching. I wouldn't even get... Anyways, yeah. I think his vocals are terrible. Lord Worm's got a great voice, if you want to call it that. Lord Worm is awesome. He should only be in Cryptopsy. Mike DeSalvo, he had kind of like a hardcore shout. I don't know. I couldn't stand the guy's vocals. Other than that, the album's alright. If you like technical death metal, which I'm not a huge fan of. I do like some early Cryptopsy, though. I even thought this album was alright. This is the last album that had Lord Worm. Once again, I don't know, cover artist, whatever. It's better than that last one, but Once Was Not, this one's called. This was like a return of Lord Worm, basically. He would leave after this also, but Jesus, atrocious art on the inside of here. Decent album, though. Very decent. I liked it. Pretty good. Here we have this is basically a re-release of their demo, one of their demos, something like that. Ungentle Exhumation, is that how you say that? Exhumation, I believe. This was released by, I think they self-released this. Pretty sure, I don't know. Pretty sure they did. Anyways, yeah, it's good stuff, man. At this time, this was even this was before they had any albums out, so they were still, I mean, they really have always been kind of forward-thinking and a little bit technical, but their earlier stuff's not near the level of technicality that they would achieve later on, so it's a little bit more old-school death metal sounding, but, you know, clearly Cryptopsy. A lot of people actually prefer that early stuff because it's not as wonky. This is the album. This is considered an all-time classic by most people. A lot of people, I should say. I mean, this makes most death metal lists for all-time classics. You already know it before I even said it. None So Vile. It is a very good album. I do like it. I'm just not a huge tech death fan. I mean, even as much as I like this album, it will lose me at times when I listen to it. It's just, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just so chaotic and so dissonant. But yeah, it is a great album. I kind of prefer their first album to this just a little bit. I don't have it. I should pick it up. I'll probably pick it up when I see it, if I ever do cross paths. But yeah, this is a pretty fucking good album. I'm not going to deny that. As far as tech death goes, this is about as far as I reach. Not too much beyond this. So, I gotta have songs, man. I don't know. I like early Suffocation. I really like Atheist. They're not really all that death metal, but for being a technical band, I think they actually could write somewhat cohesive songs. Yeah, anyways, I'm getting into rambling territory. Anyways, that's 10 CDs, guys. Thanks for watching. Talk to me if you want. If you like The Crown, Cretin, or Cryptopsy. Sure some of you do. That's all I got for you. So thanks for stopping by. We'll talk soon. Cheers.